Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is The Mad Knives, a 5-album, 5-movie sci-fi concept project. And today is a weekly journal entry, TMK010. That's the 10th one. Let's talk about it. Where are we at? We are in album 1 out of 5. Right now, we are tracking with 2 of the vocalists, co-pilot and Doctor. That is pretty exciting news. Show the logo, hit the music. All right, so what happened last week? I chose a candidate for the Doctor. I've selected a person. We've been through the contract and talked things over, and it sounds like she's gonna have time to start tracking possibly tomorrow as I record this. And she might know a candidate for the farmer, which would be really helpful because, like I said, I've been having a pretty hard time finding male vocalists. So if she knows somebody in her own network that is the farmer, that would be really helpful. And then along with all of this, since we had 3 candidates for the Doctor, I had to tell 2 of them that I went with somebody else. I don't know. That was a little weird. Candidate. Oh, I really can't spell today. So 2 of them I didn't choose, which is weird. We'll talk about that in the next thing. And as far as the co-pilot goes, I got the first batch of actual tracks from the co-pilot last week. And it was so cool. So it was the first pass of the first 3 songs because we're doing them in batches, and she did such a good job. And we had a call on like Tuesday, 4 or 5 days ago, to do another pre-production call for the next round of things. So likewise, I think she is probably tracking again this weekend, and hopefully I'll have another batch to go over in a couple days. So really crazy progress here as far as what happened last week, and I'm feeling grateful and lucky, and it's pretty cool altogether. So let's skip to the next part of the video, my favorite part of these weekly journals. This is the feelings section. So let's talk about how all this feels. First of all, like I was saying, the co-pilot, this is so fun. Like, if you remember from a couple weeks ago, I was really worried that I wouldn't do a good job producing vocalists and that I wouldn't be able to communicate my ideas because I'm very much not a singer. Although we're going to talk about that in a minute too. She's doing a great job of understanding what's going on, even in this sort of odd groove that's happening underneath this stuff. And so far her work ethic is great, and more importantly, the tracks are cool. Like, they sound so good, and it's been really exciting to drop them into the sessions and see what it sounds like, because I'm starting to hear how the concept of having multiple different vocalists on these songs is actually going to manifest itself, and it's cool. Like, it really is about what I thought it would sound like. Not like stylistically exactly how it was in my head or anything, because that never happens. But the idea of combining these character voices, yeah, like it's working. It's there. And the other thing that's cool is that I'm starting to feel like a vocal timeline a little bit. And I don't want to get ahead of myself here and be too optimistic or anything like that. But for example, with the co-pilot, if we keep this pace of this back and forth going through these batches, I think in the next 2 or 3 weeks, all the co-pilot vocal parts will be in the can, done and ready to go, which would be crazy because as we sit right now, I am maybe 9 weeks into this YouTube channel, which I've been doing with hopes of gathering collaborators. And if we follow this timeline and everything goes well, knock on wood, knock on everything, that means that 3 months after I started this YouTube channel looking for singers, there's a possibility that one of the roles is all the way done. That's insane. That's totally insane. Like, I don't know how somebody could hope for better than that. So, again, grateful and excited, really, because this is kind of working. And who knew? Okay, so now we have to come to a part where I need to talk to you guys about something, because I'm having a dilemma. And no, the dilemma isn't about how to spell dilemma. So, as I'm gathering these vocalists, like I said, I've been having a very hard time finding male vocalists. And I'm adjusting my methods and trying better ways, and there have been a few potentials that seem to be out there. But I'm noticing as I do this that certain sections of these vocals are harder for these actual singers to wrap their heads around than others. And this is something I've mentioned before, but it's because of my style influences. And one of them that is a big one is a band called The Hold Steady. And their singer is a guy named Craig Finn. And Craig Finn has a very particular vocal delivery. It's a certain kind of thing. There are other people that do it as well. He's just the one that I've listened to the most. And because of that influence has bled into some of the vocal lines on the Mad Knives album. And specifically, I have come to discover the pilot. So many of the lines that I've assigned to the pilot are in this odd talk singing style. And I'm discovering that style is likely what will cement this album into the genre that I want it to be in. So I'm concerned about being able to produce that out of somebody else. I'll just say it. So I'm considering singing the pilot myself, which is going to fly in the face of everything I've said before if you've been watching these videos, because I'm a drummer first, and some might say only. But I have decades under my belt studying the drum set and drum performance and playing and recording, and I can do that. My whole life, I've thought that I can't sing, and that opinion was generally supported by the people around me. Because I think it's kind of right, I kind of can't. But here's the thing about this particular style of singing that I'm talking about, and how it plays into this album. It's not about being technically correct. It's about delivering emotion, motion, storytelling, and vibes. Like, nothing else really sounds like that. And to try to sing it takes away all its power. Like, there's an emotional gravity to this type of performance, and it's necessary to get this story across. So that's why I'm thinking about doing it. Now, there's a couple other reasons. This one includes a little bit of spoilers, but it's not going to kill you. The pilot as a character is only in the story for the first album and maybe 1/3 to 1/2 of the second album. And then the pilot goes away. I'm not going to tell you why or how. It's cool. So, relatively speaking, this is a small part in the Mad Knives universe, even though it's kind of a big part on this first album. So, if there were a place for me to jump in and really deliver this in the way I want it to be, it would be the pilot. It would give me a chance to make a foundation to the universe and like the sonic landscape of what's going on here. It would be an opportunity for me to really plant a flag as far as genre goes and say, like, this is indie rock. There's a lot of synthesizers and no guitars yet, but this is indie rock. That's what we're doing. And the weird thing about it is that I sort of don't want to do it, but I'm concerned that I might be the only one who can, based on how my network works right now. So here's some thoughts about it, though, and luckily I don't really have to make a decision about it right now, which is awesome. So if I'm going to do this, I am going to go source a vocal coach somewhere and spend some amount of time working with them with the express purpose of getting these tracks for this album. I'm going to try to find somebody who doesn't want to have me singing scales and learning theory too much. I'm going to outline the specific goal and a timeline and a budget and see if I can find a vocal coach who is interested in and gets what the goal is and is willing to like workshop me through these particular vocal parts for these particular songs on this particular album. So the cool thing about it is I can start doing that and keep looking for other people to sing the pilot. So it's actually sort of no harm, no foul situation. I can just start working on it, keep looking for other vocalists at the same time. And if I find a collaborator who is excited about doing it and seems like they can do it, I can bail on my own thing. But I do think in the larger scope that the concept of me having some kind of vocal lessons from some kind of vocal coach is going to make all the future songwriting and album making and producing and recording so much easier. Like, this can only help me even if I don't end up singing the parts of the pilot. So it's going to extend my timeline in my head a little bit, but as of now, I don't really have any other prospects for the pilot, so it might actually shorten up the timeline. But the big problem with this whole thing, with this whole dilemma, is I just carry a deep insecurity about the concept of me singing. And I think at this point it is very likely getting in the way of me actually being able to sing in a way that is useful to me. And I think with a little bit of thoughtful coaching, I can get through that, I've been insecure about things before. So that's the biggest thing that's been on my mind this week as far as feelings go, because everything's going so well with the female vocalists. And, in general, everything is going really well. I'm just having a hard time finding male singers, and I've chosen a very unique thing for the pilot. So it just might be that I have to do it. Okay, what's next? Continued tracking, which is actually really fun for me because I don't have the red light fever. They're the ones tracking. I'm just trying to help guide them through it, and then I get to sort of sit back and listen to the beautiful results. It's so fun. So again, that's for the doctor and the co-pilot. That's who is tracking right now. And then we're just going to keep looking. We're going to keep looking for male singers. At this point, I really think the farmer is going to be key. And I know I can't do the farmer because the farmer actually sings. And I want somebody in a little different register than me, and somebody who's got what did we used to call it? Alternative country, Americana kind of chops. I don't know, Jeff Tweedy, Ryan Adams. Just the way that some of those people sing is sort of what I have in mind for the farmer, excuse me. And then the other cool thing, what's next, is a new video is out from the Story series, in which I am walking through the plot points for each of the songs on the album. This is the 4th video. It's out right now, and it's for a song that is titled "We're on Fire." And this is one of my favorite moments of the record, and one of my favorite songs on the record too. It's a little unique from the rest of them. This is the song that takes place while the Mad Knives and all the rest of the humans are blasting off from planet Earth in their homemade custom spaceships. Very cool part of the plot. Very cool song. And there's a little clip of the song in that video. So go check that out if you haven't seen it yet. And the rest of the story series videos, 1 through 4 now, are out. And they're cool. It's fun. You get to see what's going on. So that's what's next, I guess. I should tell you how to reach me, even though we've all been on the internet for a million years and we know how to do this. But the website is themadknives.com. I'm on Instagram at the Mad Knives, or you can DM me or comment wherever you're seeing this. But specifically at this moment, looking for the farmer, a male singer. If you are one or you know one, please share. And then coming up next will be sort of storyboard artists, and I'm excited to get working on that. So that's it for this week. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for listening, and we'll see y'all next time.